Hello again, everyone. Edwin Meyer back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the North Node conjunct Chiron in a natal chart. Now, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the aspects in a natal chart. They're a little bit concise. Some people may refer to them as snappy, so what I decided to do is make another series on them, in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up is, if you have the North Node conjunct Chiron in a natal chart, one way it may manifest is that one's future, which is the North Node, may be connected, maybe somehow strongly integrated with one's emotional and physical wounds, which is Chiron. It doesn't necessarily mean that one is going to have a lot of emotional, physical wounds, connected with their future. Keep in mind, conjunctions are neutral aspects. They can have good and bad qualities with them. In some instances, there may be more emotional, physical related wounds that one may endure in one's future, that second half of life. But in other instances, it could just simply be that, they could be prominent emotional, physical related wounds, in the sense that some cases it may just simply help, propel, the person for whatever reason, toward, their future, working through, adversity, inspiring them, to great, in some cases, to something, very positive in terms of their, future. Sometimes being resilient and coming back from something gives people more inspiration. In matters pertaining to one's future. Now, if the North Node is in Capricorn, as an example, one's future may be, tied in. It could be with government, political related work. It may be doing something with business, or it could be dentistry, accounting, information technology, architecture, construction, masonry, timekeeping. It may be doing something in a position of authority, as some examples. And also to one's goals and aspirations, which is the North Node, may involve healing, which is Chiron. Now, let's say, if Chiron is in Pisces, as an example, healing may be done, could be, through spirituality, spiritual healing, or through, say, the metaphysical, which can include astrology. Now, if there's healing that may involve something physical related in nature, maybe, as far as the feet, like a foot masseuse, or whatever that profession is called. You understand what I'm talking about, one way or the other. But anyway, one's objectives, which is the North Node, may be connected with helping and healing others, which is Chiron. Now, if Chiron is in Scorpio, as an example, helping and healing others may be done. It could be through some empowerment or transforming. It could be helping others transform, their lives, or empowering others to greater heights. It may be through matters of support, whether it's moral, emotional, or monetary support, as some examples. Now, also to the second half of life, which is the North Node, may be a time with much focus in terms of dealing with one's deepest wound, which is Chiron. Now, if Chiron is in Gemini, as an example, the deepest wound may be tied in with one's cerebral or intellectual ability. Maybe it's an ability, issues, I should say, with diversifying or expressing versatility. Maybe something with manual dexterity, working with the hands. Maybe there's some issues with that. There might have been some issues that are with gossiping or prevarication, that one may had dealt with at some point in time. That may be a very, it could be the deepest wound connected with the person, as some examples. But also to those that play an integral role in one's future, which is the North Node, may figure prominently in dealing with issues connected with depleted self-esteem, which is Chiron. Now, if Chiron, say, is in Taurus, as an example, there may be depleted self-esteem, may be tied in with one's monetary situation. There may be issues with persistence, patience, perseverance. It could be matters pertaining to, the accumulation of possessions or one's own resources, ability to be self-reliant, as some examples. Also, to diminish self-worth and suffering, which is Chiron, may be issues that one needs to address and confront, which is the North Node, at some point in time. Now, if there's, let's say, for example, if the, Chiron is in the zodiac sign Cancer, as an example, there may be diminished self-worth connected with one's home and family life. Maybe there's some matters of safety and security, or the expression of unconditional love. Maybe there's some issues with planning for the latter part of life that one may have had to deal with. Another thing about this aspect is that the same may apply for physical related moves, which is Chiron in those that are pivotal in one's future, which is the North Node. So, the thing is, so there may be, there might be physical related wounds that one may have to address and confront in one's future. Now, I understand that could apply, to virtually anybody, regardless of aspects, but it may be more emphasized with this aspect compared to many others, and it may be issues that are more, pronounced that one may have to deal with. Let's say if Chiron is in Sagittarius, as an example, there may be physical related wounds connected with. It could be the thighs or the liver, the sciatic nerve, the hips, that one may have to deal with in one's future. That could be maybe some very significant or serious issue. Also, too, those that are pivotal, in one's future, which is the North Node, may figure prominently in matters connected with pain and anguish, which is Chiron. For better or for worse, keep in mind, again, conjunctions are neutral aspects, so they could have good and bad qualities, with it doesn't mean, that, those people that are prominent in one's future may, seriously, cause or exacerbate matters of pain and anguish. Sometimes they can figure in negatively in those matters, but the other, in some instances, they may be, helpful as well. So it can go, both ways. When you have, conjunction, aspect in astrology, again, they are neutral. Conjunction is a neutral aspect. Now, let's say if Chiron, is in Aquarius, as an example. There may be anguish, emotional pain one may deal with. It may simply be matters with difficulty integrating with society or forming friendships. It could be matters pertaining to groups, clubs, organizations, expressing ingenuity. As some examples, maybe issues with freedom and independence, being inhibited. Now, also to helpers, healers, spiritual people, and astrologers may be pivotal in what you're learning and aspire, and that is Chiron may be pivotal in what you're learning and aspiring to be, which is the North Node. Now, if the North Node is in Aries, as an example, you may be learning and aspiring to be someone that expresses leadership prowess and ability, just being a leader, showing initiative, being more aggressive, assertive, standing up for oneself and others. Could be about, being more forceful, in matters, as some examples. And also to compassion, empathy, and sympathy, which is Chiron, may be qualities that you focus on, developing, which is the North Node. So if the conjunction is in Taurus, those qualities may be done with more persistence, tenacity, patience, perseverance, may be done in a more methodical, deliberate, and plotting manner. And also, too, one's spiritual path, which is the North Node, may be associated with astrology, spirituality, mentoring, and teaching, which is Chiron. Now, if the conjunction is in Leo, as an example, this may be flavored with more, dignity and pride and confidence, some self-assuredness. There may be more, maybe this is done, maybe to get to be lauded and praised, and, in an attention-seeking manner, as an example. And also, too, it's imperative that one heals the emotional wounds, which is Chiron, in order to pursue their mission and purpose, which is the North Node. Now, I understand this, again, this can apply, regardless of astrological aspects, but it may be more emphasized and accentuated with this one compared to many others. Now, if you have your, say if your North Node is in Libra, as an example, that mission and purpose, and maybe about finding balance, peace, harmony in your life, and maybe something connected with a relationship or partnership situation. Maybe it involves art, or law, or arbitration, or negotiation, as some examples. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Leonard saying, stay well.